Boy, oh boy, oh boy. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions, and here we need to talk about this. HIM's stock is down at one point over 20%, hitting lows of $40.71 per share after reporting earnings. And it's not just HIM stock, but it's also Tempus AI. I'm surprised Tempus even is holding at $61 because, in my opinion, and I'll break it down for you guys, HIM's actually didn't report terrible earnings. Tempus AI is such a bullshit company that, again, the only reason it was going up is because Nancy Pelosi bought it. I would not be surprised in the next few weeks if it's later disclosed. Because remember, Nancy Pelosi has up to 45 days from when she initiates a trade to disclose it to the SEC. So therefore, she could have sold a few days ago before earnings. And you guys could still be holding, waiting for the news. This is why it's super important, but I want to remind you, Tempus AI, the only reason this thing began to skyrocket was it was announced that she purchased around $30 to $34 per share. After it was announced, this thing began to skyrocket. You could see the trading volume really began to pick up, and then everyone else began to buy. It was the whole Roaring Kitty, GameStop BS all over again. It peaked at highs of $91. It sold off 12% today, but again, I want to talk about the highs that it made. $91 to the overall lows of 58. This thing sold off and lost 35% of its value in just 3 to 4 trading days. Please, there's nothing wrong with taking advantage of an intraday play of a stock that's incredibly bullish. But to hold this position overnight, knowing that it comes at a great form of risk, again, maybe just for beginner traders, it's not the safest nor the smartest thing to do. You cannot be surprised by these substantial pullbacks because there was no reason that stock even belonged at $91 per share. And let me make this very clear. Well, why is it selling off so much? It's not just because it reported terrible earnings. Again, if you guys didn't see the earnings that it reported, I can pull it up for you here on investing.com. If we look at their actual earnings, this thing reported $200 million versus the expectation. I think it missed both on revenue and its earnings per share. I think the forecast for earnings per share was for it to lose 15 cents, and it lost 18 cents per share. Yes, it lost 18 cents per share, meaning that this company loses hundreds of millions of dollars every single year. And yes, this is the stock that was the best performing stock of 2025. This is laughable. It's a meme stock. Only reason it's going up is because of Nancy Pelosi. Why can't you see that? And again, when the markets are bullish, it gives the environment or it creates an environment for these bullshit companies, these AI companies that no one cares about to thrive. Don't get me wrong. I get that. But as soon as reality begins to sink in, and again, this shouldn't be a surprise. This is something that has been talked about. We've talked about it. Everyone's talked about it. Trump is tariff or pro-tariff. Therefore, he's announced it multiple times, and we've seen how the markets reacted. Why would you think that he wouldn't announce this again? And that's exactly what was announced today. Trump says that Canada and Mexico tariffs are on schedule despite border. He's saying that these tariffs will resume March 4th. And these are 25% tariffs. So not only are interest rates not going down as the market forecasted, inflation is going up, more people are being laid off, home sales are down, and now a new tariff is being implemented. This will most likely cause more short-term pain, hopefully for long-term gain. And yet the market still wanted to thrive. Again, the market always gets ahead of itself. And when the markets then begin to shift and there no longer is it kind of like incubating this environment for these bullshit companies to thrive, then reality sinks in because, again, no one wants to invest in these bullshit AI companies when the markets are not doing well. When there's a lot of money and everyone has a lot of money, yeah, sure, of course, we'll buy NFTs. Yeah, sure, of course, we'll buy this bullshit AI company. It's up. Everyone's making money. But as soon as reality sinks in, what the heck's this NFT? Wait, why is it dropping? Wait, no one wants this anymore. What is it? A non-fungible token? Wait, you're telling me this thing isn't worth $1 million? Wait, you're telling me Tempus AI isn't a company that's worth $15 billion, yet it loses $700 million in revenue a year? Wait, really? Oh, okay, because reality sinks in. And unfortunately, HIM's kind of caught the back end. And again, I like talking my shit. You guys know that I do. But when it comes down to HIM's, I actually didn't think HIM's was that bad of a company. HIM's went from lows of, I think it was like, let me pull it up here on the day chart. Yeah, from early 2024, it was at $8 per share to highs of $73. It's unfortunate. It grew way too quick. Right? We saw this momentum. We saw this breakout. I mean, within just a few weeks, it went from lows of $26 all the way to highs of $73 per share. And what it reported for earnings was actually not that bad. And again, I'm here to talk crap when it is that I see it to be, obvious or when it's earned. But its revenue was actually not bad. Its earnings per share, it was a slight miss. But when it came down to, again, the company's growth and what they're producing quarter after quarter after quarter, like this is good. This is progress. This is what you truly do want to see. It's just unfortunate that, hey, the market gets ahead of itself. It pushes this stock up to make it seem like an invincible company. And then maybe it doesn't report as great or looks as invincible as it once was. And then markets now correct themselves. And look at this. HIMS now from overall highs of $73 per share, whoever bought into those highs, to the lows that we made today, it lost 43% of its value. Nearly 50% of its value gone in just 1 week. This is what happens when people get greedy. HIMS is not a terrible company. It simply became too overpriced within a short period of time. I really hope that maybe it does find its support and slowly begins to earn its way back up, but it needs to earn it, not deserve it, and not just pump it just because it can. Again, all of these stocks shouldn't be trading like meme stocks. We're living during a very crucial time where there's a lot of money to be made, but only for those that take profit and that are careful will end up on top. The rest will be left bag holding, and I think that this is a perfect example of it. Again, my job is just to encourage you to be calculated, to be intentional, to not avoid risk, but to simply manage it. And sometimes when I speak about things like this, people get so offended because they think that I'm against them. I don't care to see any of you guys lose money. I want you guys all to win. And there's money to be made for the longs and for the longs and for the shorts, right? To go bullish or to go bearish. But please, be level-headed. There's no reason that these companies should be growing at 1,000% in just a few months and then still be considered a fair value stock. You can't be surprised by moves like this when we have parabolic breakouts on the way up, but then they come crashing down and then everyone begins to scratch their head. Well, why is this happening? Well, why do you think? It never belonged there. It's very unfortunate, and I hope that it can recover. But as of now, my main focus for this week is SMCI tomorrow is set to report earnings. We'll see if it does, but it looks like, again, when markets are like this and they're very bearish, it's giving the environment for a lot of companies to fail. Right? When markets are bullish and it incubates that environment, everything thrives, everything does well. When now we see market conditions like this, and if this tariff is true and Trump doesn't pull out of it, because last time he did, and then markets recovered, so just be aware of those moving variables, things can get worse before they get better. But be in the lookout. If news comes out that tariff is postponed, then markets should naturally begin to recover. And again, it gives these pump and dump or more aggressive moving stocks, more volatile stocks, the environment to succeed. Just respect it. Go with the trend. You don't have to overcomplicate it, but know when to take profits. Again, I hope to see you for our live trading session. And if you ever want to tune on in, second link in the description down below. I hope that you know that I'll always tell you how it is, regardless of how hyped up a stock is presented to be. My job is not to pretend to be perfect, but to not be afraid to call something out if it looks like shit and smells like shit, to call it out for what it is, and that's a shit stock. So I appreciate your time. Hope they're in a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.